Live and raw, running and gunning with KG and the Ringmaster. It's the Diggin with KG and Ringy Runnin Gunnin Podcast Show. Coming to you from the prestigious ATC studios in beautiful downtown Burbank, California, where we talk about treasure hunting, metal detecting, and just about everything else. Except for goat roping, corn dogs, llama farms, and unicycles. That's where we draw the line. So without further ado, here are your beloved international superstar television hosts, King George and Ringmaster Tim.
Podcast Show.
Is it Tuesday again already, KG?
It's Tuesday, buddy, and here we are again. Again, and again. It's like Groundhog's Day. I can't believe how fast this week goes by, and then here we are again.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like Tuesday's always here. Here we are. There we are. We're on.
This is Diggin, Runnin Gunnin Podcast Show with KG and the Ringmaster.
It is.
I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a good night. We got an awesome guest, a mountain man.
Yeah.
A Colorado mountain man.
Exactly.
Crawled out of a crevice just to do this show.
He did. And he always looks like he just crawled out of a crevice, you know? But, you know.
But anyway.
You know, I don't know.
What'd you do all week? Birding this week? Or
I'm not going to talk about birds. It's going to be 2 weeks in a row.
Good. Maybe we
not
won't
talk
lose so
about
many
birds.
viewers.
Yeah. No, the birding community, and, you know, they'll be let down. But, hey, I do have to say just one quick thing about birds. People have been telling me, like, they keep sending me notes. It says, hey, have you seen the movie The Big Year with Steve Martin, Jack Black, and who was it? Not Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson. Anyway,
right.
I finally just watched it on Amazon. So it was actually really, really good. And after birding for a year, it was pretty awesome because the first place they went to was right down here, this famous birding spot that's down by us.
Is that where you just were?
And that's where we were a couple weekends ago, where we had taken all those cool bird pictures.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so anyway, I just thought it was worth talking about.
Shared this in a couple places. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. All right. Yeah. So other than that, everything's good. I'm good. I've been busy, just running wild.
Yeah.
Been working on my four-wheeler. Redid my old four-wheeler. The mice have got in there. It's been in my garage.
Really?
Chewed all the wiring off the wiring harnesses. Peed all over everything. I mean, I had to buy a new carburetor because everything was gummed up. But anyway, I got that baby going, and it's purring like a kitten. Yeah.
Nice work. Does it smell like pee, or did you clean it up?
Oh, I'm telling you, it smelled like mouse pee, like you can't believe. Little
I
buggers.
hate it.
Yep. Did you do anything dumb this week?
I don't think I did anything really stupid. Although one of the coolest, I don't know if it was cool, but it was, we let one of the quick hitters out just recently. Here, I'll show you this thing here. Why not, Cage? Yeah, if you haven't seen the latest one, the Charles Garrett one was just out, but we just put this one out. And there's Kaner. And
I seen that. Getting pooped on.
Somebody got pooped on, and that's all you need to know about that. If you haven't seen it yet, we won't spoil it for you. But yeah, somebody gets pooped on, and there you go.
We want to hear a really interesting story that happened to me. This actually happened. I mean, the dumbest stuff happens to me, and I don't know why.
I think I do.
Karma. Could be karma, maybe. Well, listen to this. I was supposed to get up at 4:30 in the morning last Friday and go fishing, catfishing with my buddy Ralph. But he gets up early. He's not like, I'll pick you up at 8:30. He's like, I'll meet you here. It's an hour one way for me to drive, but I'll meet you there at like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die. But it's okay. But anyway, I get to bed at 10. It's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's dandy. Well, about 12:30 at night, my cell phone rings, and it's I'm thinking it's a solicitor because it's a 1-800 number. So I look at the number and I'm like, dang, solicitor just woke me up. I only got like 3.5 hours left to sleep. Well, then pretty soon my phone rings again, and it's my mother-in-law. And I'm thinking, oh, great. What happened to my mother-in-law? I'm thinking she's down or something happened, broke a hip or something. So I didn't get to it in time. And then all of a sudden, my mother-in-law calls Emily's phone, and she's like, Emily, ADT Securities called my phone. Supposedly somebody had pushed a medical emergency on the keypad at my house.
Oh.
Well, Emily was trying to arm the system because I have security on everything out here. So Emily's trying to arm the security of my ADT alarm, and she does it a million times. But there was a window open, and she didn't know the window was open. So she thought she was hitting bypass on the keypad. Well, she was holding the medical emergency button in. So by then, I'm awake, and I'm thinking, oh crap, there's nothing I can do. And I'm thinking, I told Emily, I go, you watch. I said, if people are going to start pulling in the driveway, when I live out in the country, sure enough, all I could see is like sirens and lights coming down my dirt road headed towards my house. And I'm thinking, oh, for frick's sake. So sure enough, the ambulance and cars come screaming into my driveway. By then, I'm wide awake. And pretty soon they're pounding on the door, and I open it up, and they can't just take your word for it. They have to come into the house and walk around and make sure that
God.
Did
the police come, or just
to bed, it's like 2 a.m. and wound up, and then I get up at like 4:30 and go fishing with Ralph. But that, it was a pretty. That's a cluster.
So
crazy.
Did the police show up, or just the ambulance people?
Well, there was a cop and the ambulance. I don't know, the cops respond too. Yeah. It's funny though, the ambulance got there before the police did.
Oh, how weird.
It worked. It worked the way it was supposed to work. So I was glad of that anyway.
Yeah.
So
at least
So anyway,
it works.
That happened.
Oh, that's awesome, Cage. You should have filmed it, and used it in a quick hitter.
I should have.
KG and Ringy quick hitter.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's get Jeff in here. He's probably falling asleep in there.
World famous Jeff Lubbert is going to be in the house today, man. This guy, he's got it going on. He's in everywhere they're finding treasure. This guy seems to pop up too. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't understand either. Here, let's just play this little intro thing, and then I'll try to set it up.
I hope he took a shower and shaved for the show.
I hope so too. I did. I certainly did. I'm very clean and neat and tidy.
It's not too bad when you're, on like a podcast like this with him, but you got to stand next to him after he climbs out of the crevice for a week.
Oh, I know.
Sleeping in the mountains, chasing elk.
It'll probably just see the white of his eyes or something, unless he wiped his face off a little bit, All right, here.
Get him, see if he hasn't left yet. He might have left.
Let's go see if he's in here somewhere.
Today's guest.
All right.
Oh, I think he's there.
Is he?
I see him, Tim. Yep.
Is he there? Does he have any sound?
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Yeah, Jeff's world famous. He's like my Colorado idol right there.
Yeah. Hey, so can you hear us when you're in the green room? Could you hear us talking bad about you or anything? Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't hear a thing. So
good.
Maybe fortunate.
Good to know. Yeah, we just said you're a Colorado mountain man, and you just crawled out of a crevice to be on the show tonight. Well, KG said that. I didn't. I would never say something like that. But
I agreed with him, but Ringy let it on. But he'll watch the show later, and that'll be it. No more.
Yeah, there'll be no surprises then.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jeff, I'm going to read a little thing. I do this on every show. I don't know why I do it, but I did it once, and now I feel, I'm like OCD, so I feel like I have to do it every time. So here it is. Here's your intro.
Yo, OCD boy.
All right, here we go. KG and I have hunted with tonight's guest in several different states, including Virginia. We ran into him in Texas at the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt a couple of weeks ago and got the opportunity to discuss some important issues related to metal detecting over a few sparkling waters. He's the Western voice of American Digger Magazine's Relic Roundup group and likes to throw garbage in other people's vehicles. Please welcome Jeff Lubbert.
I don't know where that last bit came from.
All right. My very I'm gonna nix all these questions. We'll ask them, but I'm gonna go straight to the top. I'm taking my question to the top. Is it Lubbert or Lubert? Like lubing
Lubert.
Something? Is it Lubert?
It is.
Like the.
Okay, all right. Because it was. Is it like landlubber or lube something? Cage like lube an axle on a train.
I think it's lube something.
It is. So he says it's
lubing.
Lubert. So
He's
it
a
is. It's
lubie.
like
He's
just-
slick. This guy is slick.
He's very slick, and we'll just think of
Anyway.
lubing stuff when we think of Jeff from now on. Perfect. All right, so I got that out of the way. I had to get that out of the way, Jeff.
All right. Thanks,
It is
Jeff,
a
for
priority.
clearing that one up
Yeah,
there.
that was my priority.
Yes.
But so what have you been up to lately? I mean, we got a bunch of guest questions for you later, but why don't you tell us what's going on in your life,
Oh gosh, just the standard mundane life stuff, working during the week and get to play once in a while during the weekend, So last weekend we had a club event on Saturday. Actually made it out detecting for my own on Sunday, but didn't find a lot, but that's all right. I was with some friends that I'd never detected with before.
Oh, it's
We had a
always
good time.
awesome. Yeah, it's always awesome. And I can tell just by looking behind you that sometimes you do find stuff.
Occasionally stuff finds its way underneath my coil.
Yeah. So
I can't believe literally like being in Colorado. Can you think of, Colorado, not that old or whatever, but you find some amazingly old stuff up there in Colorado.
yeah. Well, you got.
We've been fortunate enough to have some good permissions. So, and Colorado really became populated in 1859 once they discovered gold. And before that, the estimate was there was 2,000 civilized people within the boundaries of Colorado before 1859. So not a lot of, really old history, but from 1859 on, it became pretty crowded really quick.
Right. So today,
Right.
I think there's like 3,000 civilized people in Colorado, right?
That's debatable.
Yeah.
3,000. And you don't fit into that category.
We know Jeff's not one of them. All right.
He's one of the fun ones. He's one of the fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So what do you want to talk about? You want to answer some questions, or you want me to show some of the stuff that you found and we can talk about that? What do you want to do?
Well, we can start off with a couple questions. That'll probably lead us into
All right.
some of the
All
finds.
right. Let's see. Some of these questions. Cage, some of this came in late, so you probably didn't get some of them.
Yep.
Well,
I see
somebody said,
I
how
see
did
a future? Yeah. Sorry, Tim. I see a future guest. Butch Holcomb is in the house today.
Oh, I see
So
him.
we gotta-
Yeah, he said, "Hey, all."
yeah. He said, "Hey, Jeff,
Hey,
better not
Butch,
screw
how
this
you
up, or
doing?"
he's off the team."
Evening
But
swingers.
anyway, give him a
Mike
question
says.
or two.
Now I'm like distracted. I'm reading. Yeah. Okay.
I know. It's-
All right. So, anything happen at the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt in particular? Did you find anything there? Did you have any fun? I mean,
I had a blast at the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt. It was interesting that first day with all the rain going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was in an area that was normally a grassy field turned into a swamp and river.
Right.
So that was intriguing.
Mhm.
I will say that the apex held up quite well in the rain. So found me
Yeah.
plenty of targets.
Yeah, we did that out on the East Coast one time. I know we've told that story before, but I mean, we hunted all day with it in just a complete downpour. It was like people, standing under somebody pouring a bucket off of a rooftop onto you, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that, and I remember George and I stayed inside the building on Friday for most of the day, and CB and Gypsy came back, and they looked like drowned rats. It was hilarious.
They
Yeah, because
did.
we can't win. So there's no sense going out looking for tokens. But I didn't realize there were so many natural finds out there, or otherwise I probably would have been out there.
Yeah,
That place has been used as a flea market area for over 100 years. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff out there.
And Sergeant Whitey found that really cool state fair badge from 1906 or 1908, kind of like the stuff we found in Montana from the fair and stuff, Cage. I mean, that was one of the coolest things ever. And I'm assuming maybe it got lost at a flea market, it was from the Kansas State Fair, but still awesome find,
It was an awesome find. I was actually right there when he, not long after he found that, and he was showing it to me. So I was impressed.
Yeah, it was good. I was kind of jealous, and I was thinking about maybe stepping on his coil and breaking some of his stuff, but I held back because he's bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's really tall. He's really tall.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it to look at him. You wouldn't think he's as tall as he is. But I took a picture next to him. I look like a little dwarf. So he might be our next bouncer. He could be our bouncer.
Yeah. We can always use one of those. It's like we always end up in trouble somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah. But I definitely had a good time there. I mean, it was fun because I actually got to meet some people that I'm actually friends with on Facebook that I've never met before. Been friends with them for a couple of 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and finally got to run into them, face to face. So that was nice.
That is cool. That is way cool. In fact, we got to meet several people that, we've talked to online for years and finally got to meet them and stuff. Hey, KG, I don't think you know this, but this just reminded me of meeting somebody, a long time ago. So I'm going to take a little tangent here, but Jason Nichols, the field producer for the Digger show, got a hold of me the other day, and he's a big Disney fan, and so he was down at Disney World, and he happened to see some people on the beach metal detecting, and just kind of went up to him and said, "Hey, you ever heard of KG and Ringy or whatever?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we went to the Kellyco grand opening years ago. Remember that big one that we did, Cage?"
Yeah.
And so apparently they had met us there or something. And Jay said, he just goes, "Oh yeah, well here, I'm going to give you Ringy's email address and contact info, and just write him. He'll give you a whole bunch of free stuff."
Oh yeah.
So I got this letter, and it was so funny the way she phrased it, because Jason said it, he said he'll send you a whole bunch of crap in so many words. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so this lady
funny.
wrote it to me just like he said it. I just thought it was really funny. Anyway, so, he's still getting us into
questions
trouble.
for Jeff?
No, that was it. Thanks. Good night,
You don't
Jeff.
need him anymore?
No, I'm just going to talk the rest of the time.
No.
Okay, Jeff, let's see. How did you get involved with Relic Radio?
Well, Relic Radio or Relic Roundup?
Or Relic whatever.
Relic Roundup.
What
you
is
got to
it?
get it right.
I
Relic
don't-
Roundup.
Relic Roundup.
It's on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Relic Radio is something else. I know
That's
seen
Loy's
those
show.
Yeah, okay. Well,
On Thursday night.
but he's on your show too, right?
Yes, he is also a co-host with us. Yes.
So that's an honest mistake. But yeah, obviously we don't do a whole lot of background research or anything here at Team ATC. So, Jeff, how did you get involved with Relic Roundup?
Good question. Glad you asked.
I'm going to edit this out on the Podbean version later.
Well, I was actually a listener of Relic Roundup when they first started, and it actually was, I believe it was called In the Dirt or something like that, or when it first began, 2009. And one of the gentlemen that actually hosted with Butch only lasted about 6 months. Then he decided he was going to back out and do something else. And so they put it up there as like, "Hey, we need another host, and who wants to do it?" And I'd actually by that time had guest host one time and was a guest as well. So I was like, what the heck? I'll throw my hat in the ring. And next thing you know, I've been on it since 2010. I mean, that show's been going for a long time.
Over 10 years.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, I've been on.
That's crazy. And that's every week too. Is that every week or?
Yeah, we probably get about 49 to 50 weeks a year in on it. So
For 10 years?
Wow.
Doing that?
Yeah.
10 or 11 years? Man.
yeah.
This show's killing me, and we've done it for what, 3 months?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I've actually done it from fishing camp in Minnesota to Key West to Mexico to St. Thomas even. I did
really?
a show from there as well. Yeah.
So what were we doing in all those places? Diving or something?
Like fishing in Minnesota, down in Mexico, we were just did some diving. I metal detect anywhere I go. It doesn't matter. I prefer relic hunting,
Right.
but I'm an opportunist metal detectorist. I actually detect anywhere, and I can. If I'm diving, I'll have a detector with me typically, or if I'm at a beach location, I'll go beach detecting. If I have to go to a park or something, like I've done down in the Phoenix area when I was down for the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show.
Right.
I went down for that, and I went down to Phoenix a couple times for just visiting friends. I'd take along a detector and just go hit a park.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not particular about where I go.
Yeah,
Just as long as I have permission to have the legal ability to be there.
Right. I really don't care either. I if I'm looking for Civil War stuff or coins or whatever.
Well, he used to look down at the ground all the time, Jeff, because he's a natural metal detectorist, treasure hunter. But now he's looking at the trees, seeing if there's a rare bird up there in the tree.
I've gone solely by ear, by sound now. Yeah, because I'm just like,
well, now when he metal detects, he's
is that a red-faced warbler?
Yeah.
If you don't look down, you're gonna trip.
Yeah. You know what? I've already made that the very first time I went out and I actually hooked my camera on I have a contraption where I can hook it on me. And the very first time I went out, it was when we happened to do that poop quick hitter, And yeah, exactly. I stumbled over a tree root had grown out over the path, and I'm just like, oh, I almost went down, I said one bad word, and then it was all over, and I gathered myself back together.
Darn it.
Yeah, I
sure
did.
something like that.
Shucks, golly gee, that was close.
I want to know the story, Jeff. Recently, you were a part of a pretty big discovery. I mean, I know you didn't discover it, but you were involved in retrieving these shoulder plates and like a belt plate or something. I want to know a little bit more about this story because I just saw pictures of you in a giant hole pulling out buckets of shoulder, whatever them things are called. Epilepsy.
Yeah, something like that.
Epilepsy. Yeah, that's it.
Epilepsy.
Well, that one is hadn't made public yet.
What?
Oh, it's a good time.
Well, how did you see this, KG?
Well, next question. Which wants to know who does your hair?
What hair? So you guys got a cap on. I just went with a cap.
Butch just wrote that. I don't know what he's doing here. But anyway, what's your preferred beer? Budweiser? Because I know you don't like to litter, so you like to put them in the back of people's vehicles. All right, true story. I was down in the Garrett hunt, and Boots and Jeff, they're having a few beers. They had a designated driver, so why not? So anyway, they proceeded to put all these beer bottles in the back of my truck, and I got a trundle cover. So later that day, I'm starving to death. I decided to drive to the pizza place. I come around the corner. I don't know it, but these guys are like right behind me. And it sounds like a bottle factory in the back of my truck. It's banging and clanging. And I'm like, what in the heck did I just? I didn't know if I ran over something or something broke in my truck. But man, there was probably 40 bottles. I think they went through all the garbage cans and took all the bottles out and threw them in the back of my truck. But I think that was you in Boots, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got proof of it. You saw the proof of it there, and then here's the arrest record. So I think
that happened.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, Department of Corrections. Yep, that's it. That's
the
one.
We were having a good time down there.
Yeah, it was a blast. Really good time.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway.
But that was what else. Yeah, I'd say we enjoyed a couple beers here, and there were some friends, and we just didn't have anywhere to put the empties.
You don't want to litter. I know.
No, absolutely not.
I made the mistake of telling you what I was driving. That was the whole problem.
Yeah, that was the issue right there for sure.
As soon as I got down there, I told Tim, I said, you know what? I don't want anybody here to know that I'm in my personal vehicle because I know what they're going to do to it. And sure enough.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, since Jeff's on here, we'll talk. I just got my new issue of American Digger.
Nice.
There it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got this. It's an awesome magazine. If you haven't seen this, I mean, you've been living kind of in a crevice with Jeff or something. But I mean, it's an awesome magazine. And tonight we're going to be giving away prizes as usual. And of course, this tonight we're going to throw in some American Digger stickers and a copy of American Digger magazine on top of the silver coin and whatever else goes out. So, and by the way, last week, remember we had a big winner, and I still haven't sent him his stuff. It's sitting over here, but it's ready to go. but there was a second one. We had people go over and pick on YouTube too. They entered their numbers, and so there are some winners from that too. So I'll show those. Well, I'll show them here in a little bit. But anyway, somebody did win that. People were asking, "Hey, did you ever draw that other second number?" And yes, I did. The winner has been determined, and she is going to get some cool stuff. So there.
She's going to get some cool stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the weird thing is she is now in that elite club of multiple winners. She actually won something a long time ago, I think, too. So she's going to get a silver coin and some other stuff.
Yeah, multiple winner in 15 shows. That's
well, I don't know if it was on this show, but we've done giveaways for years, and I don't know.
Yep.
You know me.
You just research her. She probably won like when a bingo game one time when she was 3.
No, I'm talking about she won some stuff from us, KG.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
right.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Hey, Jeff.
More questions for Jeff?
Yeah. I do. Let's see. So we got that. This is kind of for. I'm not sure if this was directed at Jeff or all of us or what, but we can all talk about it. So here it is. Do you ever hunt campgrounds, or is that just a garbage fest? Chuck R. asked that. He's on all the time here. I see him on here all the time. I don't know if he's on tonight. But anyway.
The Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt was actually, it was where we actually were doing it was the flea market and campground, right?
Yeah. And yes, it is a garbage fest. But that being said, if you cherry pick, we did pretty darn good. I found a silver ring and a silver necklace or bracelet. It was some kind of handmade weird thing. It was kind of crumbling apart, but it was silver. And then a spill of 9 tokens, and then another different token somewhere else. And I'm assuming all this stuff came from the flea market. You know what I mean? It was on a table and fell off, or what? I don't know.
Well, it's been going on for 100 years, so I'm sure that some tables were set up and probably blew over at some time or another. And
were there flip tops and pull tabs and stuff? Heck yeah, they were everywhere.
Lots of them.
But you just gotta take your time and old campgrounds and stuff. We do them here in Arizona even. And sometimes it's a clad fest, and then you get a zillion casings. We live in the USA, so there's just bullets and casings everywhere. And but if you just cherry pick through that, I managed to pull a 1919 Merc out of an old campground that had nothing. We didn't find anything but clad and casings and stuff all day, and that one Merc came out. So
yep, I remember that one old. Remember that old park, the barber shop?
Yeah, what a great
we went
place.
In there, but I was cherry picking, because there's flip tops literally everywhere. So I wasn't digging flip top signals. I was going after like silver, like quarters and whatnot. Well, I dug up a silver dime, and then I dug up a couple of clad coins, and then right in the middle of it, I had a nickel sound, and I dug that massive old giant gold ring.
I remember that.
Gold ring?
Didn't it have an eagle on it or something?
Yeah, it was a big eagle wrapped around your finger.
Big solid gold eagle.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think I almost threw up. It was awesome. No, it was phenomenal.
Jeff, do you have a favorite find, Jeff? I see no question here.
Yeah, look, actually, you guys have a picture of that one. That would be those 3 keys that I sent photographs of. That's actually one of my favorite finds, believe it or not.
Wait. Are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it? I know it's a skeleton key, but what are the other 2?
Well, they were all 3 found stacked one on top of the other. And this is at an old military site in Colorado from 1869 to 1870.
Wow.
And so those are handmade iron keys, and I have no idea what they went into, but the skeleton key that's there, that is a really large, actually it's a really large skeleton key to give you an idea how big those other ones are.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, no monetary value whatsoever, but I would love to know the story of that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And how much trouble did the guy get in that lost those keys?
No kidding.
You know, they're
No
one of a
kidding.
kind, or else they just had a certain like size and length. So yeah, but that's wild. Probably an old blacksmith forged them on the old fire.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one I'm dying to hear a story about because this is both of these are still on my bucket list. So here you go. Tell me about this.
Well, that was my $2.50 gold piece. And the reason I found that is because my one buddy found the 3-cent piece. I came over to take a photograph of it. And,
you walked over and hit that gold?
yeah, actually, I took the picture of his, turned on, started walking back to my spot, made about 10 steps and found my gold coin.
Does that sound familiar, Tim?
It does. It does. I got to tell it. I'll tell it real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, KG was there when this happened, but we were hunting with T.O. and Bones at an old site in Montana. And T.O. called me over and I took a picture. He found like an Indian head or something. Was it an Indian? I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway,
I remember.
so I said, oh, that's awesome, cool, or whatever. And I did the same thing. I took about 20 paces away from him, heading back to where I was, and bang, hit a seated dime. And of course, I flipped out. It's on one
Yeah.
of the
Well,
videos.
Tim did that too. Like he found something. It was kind of cool. Remember our Eulens? And he called me over and I'm like, God darn it, he found something good. So I ran all the way across the field, and I'm filming him. And it's when before we had the TV show even. I'm filming him and he's talking about this cool thing. I turned away and took about 3 or 4 steps and I dug up that seated dime right next to you, remember? And you were like, get out of my sector.
But that's fun to be out there and share your finds with somebody.
It is. It's all
Yeah.
good because you know what? I've always told KG this, there's certain people in this hobby or whatever that don't want anybody to find anything except them or whatever. And it's so ridiculous because it's like, where's the fun in that? We always used to say to each other on the way home, it's just like when we all found silver or something, it's like, what a great day because we all were successful, and then we all hug it out and, then, extended
That ain't
hugs
always
that
true.
lasted
Every
a
once in a
long
while,
time.
you're kind of like you find a spot, you invite a couple of your buddies, and then they pull out the awesome stuff, and you're like, why did I let them come with me? I should have hit this first by myself, and then let them come and pick up the little shavings.
I'm just saying when we go in to fresh spots and we're all there, it was like the 4 Musketeers.
Yeah.
Except for KG. We never wanted him to find anything. All right, what else we got for Jeff? This thing. What is some of this stuff? Let's just talk about all this cool stuff he's found. That's it. What kind of weird spearhead thing is that? That on the left.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with Indian, points and things like that.
Mhm.
I sent that photograph to a gentleman. So you're looking at the one that actually is the below a V nickel.
Yeah, right below the V-neck. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one is what I sent it to an expert. He said, "Oh, that's a Hell Gap point," and
Which means absolutely nothing to me because I don't know anything
no, it
about
doesn't to me either.
Yeah.
But he started looking up Hell Gap points, and that date ranges from 9,550 to 10,500 BC.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I keep those two in a display together because we were up at an old ghost town area, and I found the nickel after my buddy Ron found a Indian head penny. I turned around to yell at him, "Hey, look, I found a V nickel."
Yeah.
As I turned around, the light shined off of that arrowhead and just about blinded me. So I bent down and picked it up. It was like, oh my gosh, I found it. An arrowhead, an awesome arrowhead.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Hey, I got a little bit of good news, Tim, before, Jeff has the go-ahead to give away a guest subscription to American Digger magazine to a winner tonight.
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 Holy cow.
Well, yeah. But,
All right.
KJF, so we can pick a number, but they have to watch it till the end, supposedly. So
Okay. Well, we'll do it.
Yeah, so we're gonna give an American Digger magazine subscription
And
away.
we'll stay on and actually pick it live on the air then, and that way they'll have to stay.
If they pick a number and they don't get it, then
they don't get it.
Then
too bad, so sad.
Send it to Jeff. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to be rude, but I wanted people to know that we got some pretty cool gifts coming.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry,
let's
Jeff.
you know what? We should let them start picking numbers right now. So let's do that. Hey, let's talk about these winners here real quick, and then we'll come back to some more finds. All right? That's what's going to happen right now, boys, whether you like it or not.
What's happening?
All right.
Do you want it to or not?
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here's some stuff. Here, here's all the awesome
prize giveaways.
Some music.
All right. So here's the winners. The YouTube winner was Lauren O'Reilly. I know she's won something before. I just recognize her name. So, but she's going to win. She won that YouTube thing from before. And Mike also picked number 9. That was the winner. So Mike wins the prize tonight. He's going to get all kinds of stuff. We've been talking about it now for quite a while, but Mike will get some of this. We got all this stuff from the Japan treasure hunters and stuff, so he'll get some monkey meat. He'll get the monkey meat crackers, and then these things are so weird. I don't even know what they are, but they're like, I don't know. Cage, did you try any of these?
I tried some of it. Yeah,
it's almost like I don't know what to describe, like strawberry shortcake rolled up into a fruit roll or something. It's real unusual, but hey, you're gonna get some. And
I'm
then
pretty sure they gave that stuff for you to consume.
Yeah, and then here's some
not to give away.
Weird.
I've eaten most of mine.
Yeah, weird flavored Kit Kats.
The monkey meat.
Yeah, did you eat the monkey meat? It's not monkey meat. There's some kind of cracker, but there's a picture of a monkey on it. So George called it monkey meat once, and now that's what I call it. Yeah. So anyway, we're giving that away. We're giving away American Digger magazine. We're giving away all kinds of stuff tonight. So the separate thing, though, those guys won. They're going to get the big old prizes tonight, but we're going to do another giveaway. KG, it's your job to pick the number, like the range. You got to pick the range, or let Jeff pick it.
Jeff, pick a number between not too high of a number.
Well, don't pick the number. Just give us a range. No, 1 to whatever.
So I need a range.
Not 1 to 2 either.
1 to 35.
All right. First one to hit it, 1 to 35, gets a subscription to this awesome American Digger magazine. Check it out.
That ain't going to take no time whatsoever. And if people pick the number over 35, they can go back and pick another number. Because a whole bunch of people were picking numbers like 60 and 80. And
look at this schmo.
I guess I haven't seen, since I don't get to see what they're picking. So
I'm gonna kind of look back here and see. Oh yeah, I see they're picking. So the first person to hit it, I'm not gonna be able to keep up with it. So I'll have to do it after the show. But rest assured,
we'll message whoever the winner was.
Yeah, I definitely can't keep up with it because they were picking it before we even talked about it. So
yeah.
All right, so that's awesome. What else we got to talk about? I know I still have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Jeff, do you like football? We're going to talk about football now, just because.
Okay.
All right. I mean, just a little bit, because I just got to tell you, you know how you go into withdrawals and stuff? I just got our nobody knows this probably, but I think I said it last week, but we have a new football team in my little town up here in Arizona. They're the Northern Arizona Wranglers. So they're in the IFL, the Indoor Football League. And we got season tickets, and we went to their very first game this weekend. And it was just a blast. I mean, it was just cool. So anyway, here's just some pictures from it. But
dumbest thing I ever saw.
Anyway, it's just like a great way to release your football tensions while you're in there. But Carlotta was like, I don't know, she's okay with football, but not a huge fan. But we got in there, and she's like, we were pretty close, as you can see, because I filmed this myself. And but she goes, because she loved hockey and all the violence and checking and stuff. And we got there, and they had those sidewalls and stuff, and they were just crushing each other into the wall, and the ball was flying into the stands and stuff. So she was like super happy with all that. She's like, "Oh, this is like half hockey." So
What's your point?
anyway, I'm just saying it was awesome. I had a great time, and you can.
Hey, remember Iowa used to have one in Des Moines. They were the Barnstormers.
Yeah, the Iowa Barnstormers. That was.
Yeah.
They've been in the league for like 20 years, and
Right.
that was like my favorite team, even though I've never seen them play or anything. Because I'm an Iowan basically. But
Let's say, 'cause Tim and I are both from Iowa, so
yeah, exactly. So it's just like the Iowa Barnstormers. I'm sure they're much better. But what I was going to say about this team is they were behind like 21-0 in the first quarter already, and they had fumbled, and it was like kind of a disaster. But they came back and scored 3 touchdowns, and it was pretty awesome. Anyway, I'll be done with that. I just had to get that off my chest. It was just pretty cool. So I'm all wound up because I get to watch football now. So another thing we got to talk about real quick. In case you didn't see it last week or whatever, and you're an Apex user, here's where you go if you want to get updated. So we'll just show you this real quick. This will take 40 seconds out of your life that you'll never get back, but here you go. You can always update your Apex with the latest version of the software, and here's how.
Garrett's Apex is a rechargeable and
Hey, that's
upgradable
me.
detector with an array of
Yeah, that
cutting-edge
was you.
capabilities. You can always keep your Apex up to date with the latest software version simply by connecting it to your PC. Visit Garrett.com for instructions on just how simple it is to make sure you are getting the most out of your Apex.
All right, so there you have it. If you want to update your Apex, now you know how to do it.
yeah, and we did ours actually at the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt. It was really nice. It literally only took 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, I think.
Oh, yeah, less. Yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. I remember giving it to Bill. He had a little booth there, and it was bang, done in seconds. So,
Bill in the booth.
Bill in the booth.
So Jeff, what is if you have any advice for newbies? I always get asked this. What's your advice for a newbie?
Give up right away.
Yeah.
Take up golf.
I guess my biggest thing, honestly, you see so many newbies are going out there and they want to get like a big coil right off the bat and go really deep and cover a lot of ground. And I'm always a huge fan of getting smaller coils, and getting to that trashy area and picking through your stuff. Slow down your swing. Be my biggest thing to tell newbies. And obviously keep that coil level to the ground and parallel with it, because you see so many people doing the pendulum swing too that they see on some YouTubes, or you see the old guy like Ringy walking down the beach swinging with the big pendulum swing.
Exactly. And what they don't realize is that they're only metal detecting for about a split second right in the center, and then all that other motion is wasted.
Wasted. Yeah, agreed.
Their arms are getting bigger.
Yeah,
They're
that's
getting
true.
bigger.
Just one arm, kind of like Quagmire. All right. Family Guy joke. All right, let's go back to some. Let's go back to some of these fines for Jeff. I mean, unless you're have more newbie info, but I agree 100% with the small coil anyway for newbies and other people. I love using small coils in junky areas and stuff. And
Well, 90% of the places you find your stuff is in junky area anyway.
right,
Usually if you're
right,
out in the middle of a field, it's a different story, but trashy areas contain the most activity. So that's more than likely where you're going to find your good stuff.
right on, Cage. Right on.
Right?
Good
Right?
point. Good
Thanks.
point.
Yeah, awesome
Thanks,
point.
thanks.
I'm
going to sleep tonight.
Yeah. Kane and I went out this weekend and we went to a place that's been beat to death for 50 years, and we were just trying to go as slow as we could and pick through with our tiny coils on the Apex, and we were still pulling up stuff like oil lamp parts and casings and stuff that are in the mix of all this iron. And, we didn't really hit in anything phenomenal, but it was just, that there's always that possibility to pop a really good item. So anyway.
That's people that live in the areas that aren't very old. That's all they can say.
Shut up.
That's all they can say.
All right. So Jeff, moving on right away. What is this thing? It's an awesome fob with a chicken or something.
Look at that bird. It's the pecking bird.
Hey, we're talking about birds. How awesome is this?
Yeah, exactly. That is from the Altman and Taylor Traction Company. That was actually one of my very first really good finds. It probably comes from about 1980s when I recovered that, and I still have it today.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So how old is the fob itself?
Early 1900s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it actually
silver?
No, it's silver plated.
Mm.
Wow, that is really cool. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. And I actually had some 10, 12 years old, and I actually had someone offer me $150 for that darn thing back then.
Wow.
Wow.
And I didn't take it because I
Smart.
just haven't sold anything.
Smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, go ahead.
I was say their motto is that because it was for a traction engine company, in other words, a tractor. That was actually before they called them tractor, they called them traction engines.
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually had a thresher that fob was for. The thresher was said to be so efficient that a chicken couldn't live off the grain that was left on the ground, which is why it showed that really skinny chicken on
Oh,
I get
see.
it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
it.
Huh.
So,
Pretty darn
chicken.
cool. Yeah.
fun piece. And that's probably honestly one of my very first really good finds that really truly hooked me on detecting,
Yeah.
which is why I wanted to show that off a little
That
bit.
is really cool. I just love that kind of stuff anyway. And then this, of course, is just out of my league. I've never found a hat pin like the one at the top or one of those bugles.
I found a hat pin. Remember that, Tim?
Nope, I don't remember that at all, Cage.
You would remember it like it was yesterday. I know you do. No, that's
And to me, honestly, one of the more interesting finds in that one was actually the lice comb.
yeah, yep.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's called a lice comb. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've
That's
seen this.
our
I
hot
know
comb.
we found these before, KG.
Yeah, no, they weren't exactly like that. We found them things called hot combs. Remember? They would
Oh,
heat 'em up.
okay.
It was a hair straightener.
I don't know.
But them are for lice.
I think I've seen these before.
Jeff and I don't have that problem anymore. We
No,
don't
no,
have the
look at this. Look at this. No hair, no lice.
right. No, I like that. Now, what were them numbered things? Like the 5? Was that a 555? What was that? Those.
It was
I
twos.
think it was a 666,
Twos.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Regimental numbers.
Well, everything I'm seeing is backwards.
I know.
All right, 222. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Regiment
the
numbers,
regimental
yeah.
numbers. Because you had regimental numbers and you had company letters.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we
like,
had, I know we found letters like that. I mean, I think Bones and those guys up there in Montana this year
I
have
found
found
'em.
some of them. You know, like there was an A, a U. I know we found, you and I found some at that same spot before, Cage.
I
Probably
believe
where we found them V buttons.
Yeah.
V buttons. You have V buttons?
Only a few.
Only a few. The hardest button, for the lettered buttons there is to find.
Yeah.
Jeff, he knows his stuff.
He does.
I thought I would slip that in there. He's like, what a V button? What a V button? No, Jeff, I never knew a V button even existed until we were at the Charles Garrett show in that, who was that, Bob Sullivan or whatever?
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
some V buttons there. And I'm like, a V button? I've never even heard of a V button. He goes, yeah, they're the rarest to find.
Yeah, Vogeliers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I remember when we first found our first Dragoon buttons, the D's. I mean, I was so pumped. I still am. I love those. They're so cool.
They
'cause
have
you
them
don't see
around
'em
here where I'm at. I found a couple Dragoon buttons here.
Yeah.
I have found one in Colorado.
Mm.
And I was literally we were out going, we parked about 3/4 mile away from an area where we had found just some general service buttons. I was literally jogging my way there, dragging my detector behind me, and it went off as I was jogging. I stopped, turned around, found the signal, dug it up, and it was a Dragoon button, a cuff-sized one.
Wow.
And there was like 5 of us there that day, and we scoured that area for like 3 hours, and that was the only signal within 250 yards of there.
That's
crazy how that happens
unbelievable.
like that. It's like when we were in England, like we had a prime hillside that we didn't know anybody had ever hunted. We were told they probably never, but we jumped the fence, and within probably 20 yards, Tim pulled out that what was that, Celtic gold stater.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought this is going to be the greatest field we've ever hunted in our lives. And we hunted that thing for 5 hours, and we never found nothing even worth talking about.
Yeah.
Why that was there, I don't know.
Did you get to keep your stater?
I do. I have it right here in this room with me right now.
Is it a full stater, half stater, quarter stater?
Full stater, and it's it had the markings of a silver stater or silver coin, but
they call them staters as well, silver staters.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was, as soon as I wiped it away, you could see that it was gold. And what they think happened is, like, they had been making gold coins, and then they just, it was kind of an amalgam or whatever, but it was so heavy and it was so yellow right away. Who was with us? Gary. He's just like, oh, that's gold. Yeah. So I was
Had
like,
a big C on the back for copy.
yeah, it did.
No, that's another time I was sick. That's what, like you were just saying, Jeff, just jump the fence and bam, he hit that. And we were thinking we are going to tear it up. I mean, we found some old like oil lamp parts, stuff like that, but I don't know. But they say a lot of times when you find them, you don't just go finding a whole bunch in one field. They were so randomly dropped.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's what he said about that particular style of coin and stuff. That's not something you find in hordes generally. So,
right.
It is what it is. I don't know. And I was just walking in a straight line, right from the gate. Walked right in a
and there
straight
was like
line
6 of
bang.
us walking in a straight line. And it just happened to be where you walked.
I think it's.
But you got to participate in that find as well because you were there. Therefore, you got to share in it.
Yes.
Yeah, but he found it so early in the trip. That's all I got to hear the rest of the, for 3 weeks. Like, oh, that stater. Oh, that stater. Do you have a stater? I have a stater. How come you don't have a stater?
Oh. Hey, I want to show you guys this. You guys were both there at the Charles Garrett hunt when Carlotta found. Did you see that key she found? That hotel key, that old brass skeleton key. I don't know if you saw it, Jeff. Anyway, here it is.
I didn't see that.
She found a key from the Leland Hotel, but I started doing a little research, and I ended up there's a Leland Hotel everywhere. But look at that, KG. There's one in Anaconda, Montana. From 1903, there was a Leland Hotel.
My hometown.
Yeah. And there were a couple big ones, like one in Detroit and one in like Champaign, Illinois, or somewhere like that. But there was also a pretty big one in Fort Worth, so I'm thinking it probably came from the Fort Worth one, and it burned down in like 1973. But I just thought that was so cool. Like the first one I found was from Anaconda. I'm like, that can't be right,
Yeah.
It's pretty.
That was
funny.
a cool find.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was the coolest key either one of us have ever found, I think. Yeah, that was really cool. She was totally happy about that.
I hope so, because that'd be a prize. I mean, it's a beautiful shape.
Yeah,
The hotel on it, so it's awesome.
It's so cool that we live when we do, because with the internet, you can find anything.
Yeah.
Imagine back in the old days, like when Butch started, I mean, I didn't even think they had radio back then.
Yeah, they didn't have cars. They had to ride their dinosaurs to the detecting sites and hop
Set up
off.
smoke signals.
Yeah, the only advantage was the dinosaur could just push through the gate. He didn't have to actually stop.
They have
and
those
open
tiny
it.
little arms on the T-Rexes.
Yeah. Just the body
You have to
weight.
scratch like a chicken. Anyway.
So I don't know. I'm looking at this stuff. You guys. Oh, you picked a range. It was 1 to 35, right? Okay, so
Yep.
we know that somebody's gonna win that awesome American Digger thing, and I always have to look at all my notes here. I have a script.
I
have
hope
to
Butch
follow.
don't mind that Jeff gave that away.
Yeah. I hope he
just
doesn't
kidding you,
mind. He's
Jeff.
probably super angry.
No,
It doesn't bother me any. He's over in Georgia. I'm here in Colorado.
that's right. No,
Heck, we could give away, that deer just above.
Yeah,
Well,
let's give
KG
away one of
does
those
too. What
deer
the heck?
behind you, Cage.
yeah. Okay. How about one of these? We could give a bear away.
Yeah,
There you go.
Pull that bear away.
yeah.
Mountain lion. We got a mountain lion over there. We could give away.
I
too.
recognize that one. It was hanging in my house for a while.
Yeah, you jacked it.
I did.
Yeah.
I bet I had it for a couple of years at least, hanging on my wall.
Hey Jeff, do you want to do any shout outs for your relic roundup or your YouTubes or your Instagrams or whatever?
Yeah. How can
be a good
people
time.
follow you? See what's going on? Give them the rundown of everything.
Well, I can be found on Facebook. It's Jeff Coin Digger Lubert, because I have Coin Digger on there because that's my email address is coindigger@hotmail.com. We do a relic roundup every Monday night, and that's at 9:00 Eastern time, so 7:00 Mountain time. We do that, like I said, every Monday night. I do have a bit of a YouTube channel, but not much. I don't think I put out a video in like a couple of years anyway, but it's actually called Relic Digger because someone already had Coin Digger on there. So it's Relic DIGR. And I have a few videos up there. One of a counterfeit cash that I found that for some reason I can't get people to look at that one. I don't know why. But then when I tested the Garrett AT Max, that's probably my most popular video out there. I think I have like 35,000 views on that one. So
Wow.
test the AT Max on some gold nuggets. Up the mountains.
So what was this counterfeit cash? Now I got to know what this is. Or do I have to go watch the video?
Well, you can watch the video. I actually sent a picture of it, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know. I guess I didn't have it or something. I think I went through all these pictures I have here.
Must have got lost in COVID and all, everything.
Yeah. It was,
It's like everybody's excuse. I can't
Yeah.
get material because of COVID. I can't do this because of COVID.
Well, let me see here. See if I can find it quick. I could literally just turn around and grab it.
Oh, okay. Do it. Hey, while he's doing that, I will tell you now that he mentioned COVID delays, the NX5s, people have been waiting for NX5s to come out, and we're getting real close. I think they're painting them now, and they'll be boxing them up this week. So within the next week or two, we'll have them back out there for you to get.
Yep.
So
Full-blown
what is that,
in
Jeff?
stock.
Can you show me that again now?
See, I swore I sent you photographs, but
You probably did. I just went through and picked the ones I liked, and
it actually is a counterfeit cash. It actually has 6 Barber halves and 2 Morgan dollars in it. And
wow. What are they
the
made out of?
video, I don't know. I have to take it to someone that actually has one of those XRF lasers so we can find out what it's actually
Right.
made out of. But in the video, you actually see me as I'm digging them out of the ground. I drop one on top of the other one, and it has this kind of a clunk sound. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So them are probably 10 times more rare and valuable than the real ones anyway, since they're
Correct, yeah.
counterfeits. I love that. That
That is way cool. That is really cool. So that's why they're kind of dark colored, because they won't shine up, right?
Well, yeah, and that's how they came out of the ground. And I have actually found coins that are been in a fire and
Yeah.
have this kind of that same dark coin look to them.
Right.
So originally I thought that they were in a fire. But then when I heard that clunk, I was like, that's not the right sound. And then I waved them underneath the detector, and the readings were off.
Yeah.
So,
That is so
Figured out.
weird. So weird. Yeah, it's weird to think that even back in Roman times, they were making counterfeit coins, and you can still find
As long as they're
them.
making coins,
Yeah.
they're making counterfeits.
Exactamundo.
Yeah. They
Correct,
made
you
fake
are.
silver coins, didn't they? Fake silver coins in the Roman times. Remember?
Absolutely, KG. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, they had silver wash coins. They were bronze and they silver washed them.
Right
Making
on.
them
Yeah.
think they were actually silver.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I'm done with everything I need to do. So whatever you guys want to talk about, do it.
That's it.
You
Been a
got,
while
yeah,
since-
it's early up there. Jeff's, he's got, what is it up there now? 7:30 is all. Heck.
Yep, just 7:30.
7:30? Oh, it's 6:30 here. So yeah, sometimes Jeff and I are on the same time. Once it changes again, we'll be back in sync. We'll be back in
Yeah,
a boy
you
band.
guys are those oddballs that don't follow daylight savings time. which
We're the only
I
ones.
wish no one
It's
did.
so awesome. It's just so awesome because everybody stresses over. It's like, oh, I gotta set my clock, and we don't even think about it.
Until you got to fly up to the East Coast. and,
Yeah,
get no
exactly.
sleep. No, what's your next adventure, Jeff?
That is a good question. I'm not sure yet. I would like to go do the was it the red dirt or the red
Red
to
Dirt
go do
Dig?
that hunt. Yeah, the red dirt dig. I'd love to go do that, but I didn't hear about it till at the Charles Garrett hunt, and by then I think it had already been closed out. So
When is
see
it?
if I can sneak in there one way or another.
When is that, Cage?
Yeah.
Do you remember when it is?
When it is, it starts on
Like June 18th or something?
The 18th, yeah. The 18th
Okay.
is when it starts, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I get back from Florida literally on the 16th.
Right.
And then I gotta go down there on the 18th.
Yeah,
Early.
everybody keeps talking about it, and it's like now I'm starting to kind of feel
Now
bad.
that I'm going, they're all talking about it.
yeah, everybody's like,
Jeff
oh.
goes, it'll be flooded with people. Maybe I'll see if I can sneak the lube in.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
good.
you've said that before.
And now, family friendly show here. But so
Had to get a
far,
ring off once.
I've detected in 25 states, 1 U.S. territory, and 8 foreign countries. So we got to hit a few more states yet.
Yeah, phenomenal.
No, somebody said you can get like a 50-state badge. If you hit all 50, you can get this special. Mark Hoover's doing it. He's trying to do it.
Yeah.
But if you hit every state and you metal detect in 50 states, you'll get like this special badge.
Do you have to
or
find
like that.
something, or do you have to swing your coil around wildly?
I think you just have to pretend like you're metal detected or something.
Well, I wonder how.
We got to get the 50 country badge. You and I should.
Yeah, we should probably have a pretty good start on that.
Yep.
I know we haven't been to Alaska. I know I've done Hawaii already.
See, and I've done Alaska, but not Hawaii. So
Ah,
I go to Alaska, I'm having my rifle with me or my bow.
yeah.
at least a handgun, if nothing else. Well, if you're going to be out
Yes.
detecting.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, and always with one ear off.
Yeah, that was one of the scariest times I ever had detecting because my buddy and I were on our way up to an old mining area that was up above Juneau. And we're walking along, have a detector slung over our shoulder, our spade in our hand, just yucking it up as we're walking along. And all of a sudden we come across a guy that has 3 big dogs, 3 big German Shepherds on leashes. He has a big 44 strapped to his chest. And he and I both look at each other and it's like, wow, we came out here way, way ill prepared because neither one of us had a gun of any type.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
It was not smart thing to do, but we were already halfway there. It's like, do we keep going or do we turn around? It's like, oh, let's just keep going. On the way up, there was a big pile of bear scat right in the middle of the trail.
Yeah,
And
that's spooky.
yeah, it was. And I was out there detecting in the really super thick stuff. I mean, literally where you couldn't see more than 5 feet in any direction. And all of a sudden the hair on the back of my neck stood up. For some reason, I just got this really funny feeling. And I took off my headphones, shut off my detector, and just sat down for like 5 minutes just to listen.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything. But when we walked out, only 30, 40 yards away, there was another pile of bear scat sitting in the fresh. I mean, it wasn't there when we got there, but it was there when we left.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
not
it's-
smart.
No,
Yeah.
like even in Montana, I mean, even with because there's a lot of grizzly bears around where we were, and black bears and mountain lions, and now wolves. But yeah, we always usually had a gun or pepper spray. You know, I had one too many close encounters with bears, so I started carrying pepper spray.
We'll have to do a show just about bear encounters. You know,
I had a bear encounter last year, actually. Last summer, I was up detecting up the mountains, and I was detecting. I turned around I was walking downhill for lunch, and I heard a signal, so I turned to face uphill to dig it.
Mhm.
That way, you're not tipping your head downhill. And there was a black bear within 15 yards of me.
Jeez.
Big old boar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And
Jesus.
he stuck around me for about 15 minutes. I just kind of stood there and took some pictures and video and didn't threaten him in any way. But then I finally started making my way back down, and he continued to follow me for about 100 yards.
Wow. Did you
Ended
have
up having to throw rocks at him.
Did you? Oh, you didn't have a gun or anything with you?
No, I thought that was one of normally I have a gun with me, but that one time I didn't.
Ah, crazy.
That's usually when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Weird. Well, hey, man. Thanks for being on. We appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
Yeah, I'll go pick a number and figure out who won that thing, and then I'll send it to you.
He's having trouble here.
All right. Well, maybe I'll cue up the outro then. If you guys are done, are you guys done?
Yep. Yep.
All right. I can't
just
think of
wanna-
anything
yeah.
else.
I want to thank you, Jeff. You're a good man and good friend, and it's always nice to have you on. And we'll cross paths soon. We'll see if we can't get you down there to the red dirt dig, though, because there's no sense me getting covered in ticks and you don't.
Permethrin, my friend, permethrin.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
All right.
boys. Here we go. We're gonna take it out. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. All right. Here we go.
Bye-bye.
That's it for this week. Thanks for watching the Runnin Gunnin Podcast Show, brought to you by Garrett Metal Detectors and ATC's NX5 Diggin tools. Check the ATC event calendar at anacondatreasure.com for showtimes, and tune in again for another extraordinary program packed with brilliance, insight, and fascinating guests. Wait a minute, am I still talking about this show? Anyway, may silver and gold find its way into your pans and under your coils this week. Nectar in the pot for everybody. KG and Ringy out.